Hey, hello. This is Mary Lou Foster. I'm an independent Stampin' Up demonstrator in Northeast Texas, Sulphur Springs to be exact. And I'm here today with a really cute card using the Adventure Together stamp set and dies, the bundle. And I'm sorry if my cat bothers you. She thinks I'm talking to her. She doesn't know that I am working, quote unquote. Um, If you know me, and you probably don't know all the details about me, we have a travel trailer and we do love to go camping. So when I saw this stamp set, I'm like, well, I'm going to for sure buy it for my stamp collection. And we actually made a card in my last card class using the stamp set. The sentiments in it were happy campers and let the adventure begin. But I thought, you know what? We'll make it a happy birthday card so that even the ladies who don't camp or don't have friends who camp will be interested in making a card with this bundle, this stamp set. The paper that I've used is Thoughtful Journey paper. It's a beautiful kind of a scenery type paper. Um, it's an online exclusive. The Adventure Together is also, I believe. I do have the product numbers for you for the Adventure Together bundle and the Thoughtful Journey paper. But it was easy to pick and choose. There are, excuse me, there are 48 sheets in this package, 4 of 12 different designs. And as you can see, there's flowers, there's scenery, there's the sky, there are trees, there's kind of summer, winter, spring. So I went through the paper and I picked out the ones that I thought would look like the scenery for camping. And this was my sample card. Has the purple flowers, probably spring. We camp in a state park here in Texas that kind of reminds me of that. There are deer and trees, and so everybody got a different piece of the paper. This is one of the pieces. One of the kits has more fall. That one used a different part of one of the papers. So I thought any of them would work perfectly for this card. I'm going to use this one. Kind of reminds me of the beach, of going down to more into South Texas. So I will put the cutting instructions for this card on my blog. It's pretty routine. The card base is 5.5 by 8.5, scored at 4.25. And this is a portrait or up and down card, not a sideways card. Everybody has their own terminology. So I'm going to go ahead and adhere this piece. And excuse me, because I can't talk and line it up at the same time. It only has like a 1/16 of an inch border around it. I wanted to use a lot of that paper. It has the circle, and I have cut that out with the, I'm going to have to look it up, the dies. It has the different shapes, stitched shapes dies. And I decided, you know what? It's too clean. It needs to be dirtied up. So I got out my good old sponge dauber and my crumb cake ink, and I dirtied up my circle. I inked on some ink around the edges to make it look, because you know when you go camping, you don't necessarily stay perfectly clean. We don't get too dirty, but when we take our grandkids, oh my gosh, that's a whole different story. So kind of reminds me of the shabby chic days of scrapbooking. Then we got to do some stamping. That's all I'm going to do for the card front right now. So we have to stamp our travel trailer and do some coloring. I want to show you the Stampin' blends. There's just one or two. Not as bad as it looks, really and truly. And I'm sorry about the cat. she will drive you crazy. She will drive me crazy. And while we're stamping, I'm going to use Mossy Meadow. And I have some trees that I'm going to add as accent pieces because they are in the stamp set, and there are dies that will die cut them out for us. Then what I may do, take a look at where my circle is going to go, and I think I'm going to add some trees on the paper itself. They don't have to be perfectly placed, just some definition. Now, I know I said this was a beach and I'm adding trees that look like you're going to the mountains. Well, whatever. What else do I need? Let's stamp happy birthday. Oh, you know what? I stole the happy birthday out of it. I don't see happy birthday. Okay. I don't have to do that right now. Let's color. So my tires. There are hubcaps, and I've done that die cutting because, trust me, you didn't want to watch me do that. But I need to color in these tires because tires are not white. And the good thing about it, I don't have to be real particular with the inside because I am going to put hubcaps on it, and that'll cover up any over coloring. But you do have to use the little nub end of your Stampin' Blend. And I love the Stampin' Blends because it just looks solid. When you use markers, sometimes you kind of get streaks. And I think I want to, yeah. We got some crumb cake that we need to put on. Like we have a window box here. Give it a little color. And I think today I'm going to color my awning a little different. We have an awning on ours, but it doesn't have this cute scalp. But you can always put lights on it. Depends on how long we're going to be in the spot as to how busy we get. Light, misty moonlight, because everything you put up, you have to take down. We've learned that the hard way. So there are times when we go and we keep it simple. Like, let's only put up what we want to take down. We have a portable canopy that we can put up over the part table, and that's always nice. I think I'm going to go ahead and, here's one. I had one of these little guys. It came off of its, I used, because these are so small, our adhesive sheets. Don't forget we have these. It makes stickers out of things. And then you're not having to mess with glue. However, come on now. It's stuck to my finger. And then, the fun part about these adhesive sheets is getting the backing off. But it doesn't have to be on there solidly from side to side to side. So you can give yourself some grace. And, come on now. Guess I'll have to do that one with my fingernails. Let's do some. This is crumb cake. That's light crumb cake. So the new annual catalog came out Wednesday. Have you seen any of the products in that catalog? They're pretty amazing. We'll start using them, but I needed to clean up some tubs And I'm like, oh, I'm behind on video. So let's use what I've already got going on. And then I can focus on, and put that back. So the, the windows, I just colored them in with petal pink to make it look like there was a light on. I thought yellow might be too, daffodil delight might be too, I don't know, too yellow. I'm going to need to get my pool party. Had to buy a new one. You know, today I think I want to make my bumper. Is this the black? The black, you have to read the label sometimes because it's a little deceiving. And excuse me while I get my pool party. I had to buy new ones. I have not opened them yet. These are $11 a set, and they last forever. And if you're very gentle with them and you don't push down too hard, the brush in stays nice. You really don't have to push down hard to get the color to come out. A gentle touch will do. And I color them the second time just to add some depth to it. Now you're probably going, well, how'd you get the door that color? There's a dye for that. See this little guy right here? It looks like a camera when you do it that way. But you do it this way, and it's the dye. So I have not applied adhesive to the back of this. I am going to use some of my contraband here to apply some liquid glue. If you're brave enough to use the green glue, go for it. I am not. I'll line it up so you don't get quite as much wiggle room with this. That is it. You thought I was going to be coloring for a long time. Not too bad. All right, let's use our little mini. You know what I think I'll do? I'm going to cut these apart. This mini die cutting machine, you know, your paper can't be more than 3 inches wide. And that was right at the borderline. Move it over where you can kind of see what I'm doing. I like to line that up pretty tight. So you're seeing the line. You don't have a lot of white space between the die. That looks pretty good. And then I just use a piece of washi tape. Yeah, I think I'll run those through together the second time through. You know what? It moved. I saw it do it. Yep, it sure did. Let's get us another piece of washi tape. This is just some old retired. Nothing special about it. It just cannot be too sticky. Come on. Finding the end is the fun part. Let's see if I can get this one to work. Yep, there it is. Now let's see if we can go. Oops. All right. Pop. Excuse me. I think I stuck my hair up in the middle. I would show you my face, but went to the dermatologist yesterday. And there was one spot on my cheek that needed to be burned off. Got one little spot right there. So I have a red place. It will be a blister when this is all said and done. Alrighty, I need my washi tape. So the secret is just to kind of carefully, some of this washi tape is really sticky. and it will pull the top layer of your paper off. So it might be a good idea to kind of rub it on your clothes or somehow or another reduce some of the sticky on it. You want it to hold your stuff in place. You don't want it to damage your image or whatever you're die cutting. Well, they're too close together to go through at the same time. Fine then. We'll go through twice. This little guy is small enough. The mini machine is still available. The boho blue one is not. It did sell out. That was an incentive, and they had a bunch left, so they went ahead and sold them. And I did buy a blue one that we can use in classes, because sometimes you need more than one die cutting station. There you go. Just about to get our little scene built here. So I've got my van, camper. I think that one's more like a motor home. I'm sure it has some fancy name. And a tree. These can be mounted just flat because I'm going to mount my camper on dimensionals. And let's see here. Let's do that one right there. Some dimensionals. I like them a little better than the sheets. And then this is mounted, and I could use our adhesive sheets to do that because it's a bigger space. There. There. Come on. Peel off the backing. And figure out a little lower down there. Just make the inside because, you know, it's fun to open up. And I think what I want to try this time, instead of using, well, that was fun, a Stampin' Blend, let's just do some sponging. Most campgrounds are pretty bare because if they're well used and well loved, grass does not have time to grow. So it's dirt. So there's my dirt. Doesn't have to be perfect. We're going to make us a campfire. And let's put that campfire right there. And we have to have our chairs. We have recliner chairs. Not sure how comfortable these are, but they're pretty cute. And I can make them colors. So we have to be color coordinated. I'm going to make one match my awning. So pool party. There we go. And how about Misty Moonlight? Want to do light? Sure. Let's do light. Look at that. And I didn't put any sentiment on the inside of this one. It said happy birthday on the outside. So I kind of was thinking, I've got to have fire. This card is an inspiration of Dawn Griffith. Mine's not exactly like hers. She's the one who colored that fire like that with the streak of red, yellow daffodil delight down the middle. Looks pretty realistic. And put it on the inside of our card. And if you want to, we can do something on the envelope. That, my friends. Of course, I don't know where my happy birthday is. So I think I will make this one be Happy Campers. Let's see if it will fit on the label. I think someone did switch theirs out. Yep, it will. I'm going to kind of use my finger to fold that back. I'm going to do it more towards the right hand end because I want to cut that left hand in straight. Yep, got it. Cover the ink pad. You know the rules. Don't leave those ink pads. And I'm just going to do it straight. I'm not going to try to angle it. And it's going to go on flat. Because you already put dimensionals under the camper and then under the circle. That's all there is to it. If you wanted to, you could stamp some more trees and add them. But sometimes keeping it simple is the best choice. And it's not a night scene. There is a cute stamp with the moon, the crescent moon, and stars. But this is not a night scene. So what do you think? Pretty cute, huh? I think anyone who enjoys camping or being outside, outdoors, maybe you have friends who are retiring and they're going to hit the road in their camper, this would be a great card for them because it says let the adventure begin. So the Thoughtful Journey DSP, and like I said, there are multiple choices of that. And then the bundle is Adventure Together bundle. It's an online exclusive. Don't forget, we have catalogs, but we also have shopping online. And if you would like to shop with me, it's very easy. My name is Mary Lou Foster. .stampinup.net. So I will put the list of supplies I used for this card in the description, and I will put cutting instructions on my blog. So that's all I had for you today. Happy camping!